how to roll over a checkbook IRA LLC. Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial. On today's AdBits, I want to talk about how you can roll over a self-directed IRA LLC from one custodian to another. And actually, it's super easy. So before I get into the actual procedures for how you change custodians, let's number one talk about the rules for transfers or rollovers. And then what is a checkbook control IRA LLC? So I'll start with that. There's two types of self-directed IRAs. There's a self-directed IRA, which you can call a custodian controlled or full service, which means the IRA makes the investment directly. So for example, IRA Financial Trust is a self-directed IRA custodian. We don't sell investments. We don't provide investment advisory services like a traditional bank or financial institution that is also an IRA custodian. The difference between IRA Financial Trust and the self-directed IRA industry versus the Fidelities and Schwabs is we don't make money selling products. We make our money by simply administering and custodying alternative assets for retirement accounts. We don't custody stocks and mutual funds and ETFs. Why? Schwab and Vanguard and Fidelity can do that. We are the experts in alternative assets like real estate or cryptos or gold, private placements, private business, so on and so forth. So they don't want to compete with us because they don't have the expertise to custody alternative assets, and we don't need to compete with them on the traditional side because that's something they've been doing, for a lot longer. So kind of works well. We end up complementing each other. So the first type of self-directed IRA is a custodian-controlled full service where the IRA makes the investment directly. The title, for example, in the real estate would be IRA Financial Trust Company for the benefit of the Adam Bergman IRA. And that's how the title to the real estate would be titled. Excuse me. A checkbook control, also known as a self-directed IRA LLC, is simply the same IRA structure, except instead of the IRA investing directly into the real estate, a limited liability company is essentially inserted between the IRA and the real estate. And the LLC is there for several important reasons. Number one, gives the IRA owner limited liability protection, right? It protects all the assets outside of the LLC. Number two, gives the IRA owner a little bit more control since the LLC is managed by the IRA owner, not IRA Financial, not the custodian, but actually the IRA owner who could write a check or execute a wire through the LLC bank account. And thirdly, from a privacy standpoint, the asset is titled in the name of the LLC and not the IRA. So there's a little bit more anonymity and privacy versus knowing that Adam Bergman's IRA owns the underlying asset. So if you have a situation where you have an IRA, okay, and now you want to make a real estate investments, you have several ways you can fund your IRA. The most common ways are transfers, IRA to IRA transfers, direct transfers between institutions, Vanguard to IRA Financial, Schwab to IRA Financial. You can do that as many times as you want since it's going institution to institution. Just like you can roll over 401k funds directly to an IRA so long as you have access to your 401k funds, i.e. leave your job. So direct transfers, direct rollovers are tax-free. You can do as many times as you want. Most common way to fund an IRA. There's also something known as a indirect transfer rollover, which means the money goes to the IRA owner or the 401k participant before it's actually sent to the IRA custodian, i.e. IRA Financial Trust. One thing or two things actually to keep in mind with indirects, transfers or rollovers. Number one, you only got 60 days when you have that money to actually put it into another retirement account. So you're free to use those funds for any purpose within 60 days, but you better get it back to a retirement account within 60 days, or it could be deemed taxable and also subject to a 10% early distribution penalty if you're under the age of 59 and a half. And then number two, you only can do indirects once every 12 months, not every calendar year, once every 12 months. Okay. So just make sure, you have 60 days to play around with that money. You got to make sure you get it into a retirement account within 60 days or it becomes taxable. And you can only do it once every 12 months, once for an IRA and once for a 401k every 12 months. So now we know what the checkbook control structure is, how to get money into an IRA. let's talk about custodians, right? Let's say you want to move custodians. Why do people want to move custodians? Well, let's talk about the IRA world. We have a great industry. Okay. The self-directed IRA industry is a really great industry made up of really, really great companies. And we are competitive. Sure. We certainly want to work with all of you, but it's a large industry and we for sure want to make sure we're providing everyone with great service. So we have a trade organization known as RITA, Retirement Industry Trust Association, ritaus.org. I would suggest you check out the member listing. You want to make sure that the custodian you're working with is a member of RITA. I think that's super important. But there are great companies out there in the space, but not every company is the same, right? I obviously think that IRA Financial is the best company because, and I'm not the most objective, clearly, but I think just from our expertise, our technology, our fees, I just think we're the best. So, but I'm sure my competitors feel the same way, but they're a business, and that's certainly cool and fine. But let's say you do want to come to IRA Financial because you trust us. You know, we literally wrote the book on the self-directed IRA and the solo K. We got flat fees. We have no transaction fees, no asset fees, no wire fees. Yeah, no wire fees, no check fees, nothing. Flat, $360 a year. And you want to work with the experts and you're at a different custodian. And for whatever reason, you want to move to us. No problem. We love your business. If you have a Checkbook Control IRA LLC, it's so easy to do it, right? Let's say your IRA owns a real estate piece of property in New Jersey or Texas or Idaho or New Hampshire or South Carolina. It doesn't matter because you don't need to retitle the real estate from ABC Trust Company to IRA Financial. All you need to do is just amend the LLC Operating Agreement, which we'll do for you. Why? Because remember, the LLC owns the real estate. Title to that real estate is in the name of the LLC. So the real estate, think about it as inside the LLC. So all we need to do is just change the owner of the LLC, which is outlined through the LLC Operating Agreement. So the title of that real estate is still going to be ABC LLC. Even though the custodian's changing from company X to IRA Financial Trust, doesn't change the transaction, right? The real estate is still owned by the LLC. The only thing we're changing is the owner of that LLC is just going from one trust company to another. That's it. So having the Checkbook Control IRA LLC makes moving to custodian transfers obviously always tax-free, but it makes the process for moving the in-kind asset much easier, and it's literally just paper, right? We will get the operating agreement you've used, we'll amend it, show that the new owner is IRA Financial Trust. The real estate county where it's in will never have to know anything's changed. Why? Because the LLC is still on the title, still on the deed. The only difference is the owner of the LLC is not XYZ Trust Company, it's now IRA Financial Trust Company. We'll handle it. You don't have to even change the EIN. We'll handle the operating agreement, which is the core document, which displays who is the owner of that LLC. And that's the most important part of this. So if you don't have an LLC, for example, if the IRA owns the real estate directly, then you have to do a quit claim. So you'd have to change the ownership from XYZ Trust Company to IRA Financial. Not a big deal. Costs anywhere from like 30 to 50 bucks and some transfer fees for the local county. Can help the client do it. But obviously in the LLC, there's no fees. We don't charge to amend the operating agreement for clients. And it can be done in minutes because it's literally just amending the operating agreement. And then bang, you have a new IRA with IRA Financial. The LLC still owns the underlying asset, whether it's real estate or private placement, hedge fund, private equity, that won't change. And now you're in a situation where you hopefully have a new IRA custodian. Hopefully you're happy with that decision. I can promise you, at least I believe strongly that, and I know strongly you'll get great service, great expertise, and you're going to get flat pricing. So we're not going to nickel and dime you for research or transfers, or we want your assets to grow. We're not going to charge you more if they go up in value or charge you for any wire or check fees. So if you have a Checkbook Control IRA LLC and just aren't in super love with the custodian you're at, it's not hard to make the move. It's really not. It's just moving the amending the operating agreement, opening a new account at IRA Financial, which through our app you can do in minutes. That's it. Everything changes. The bank account stays the same. Don't have to do anything. Just change the operating agreement. Now, again, if you own real estate directly through an IRA or you have a private equity investment or venture capital investment or hedge fund investment through the IRA, there's no fees, but you do have to change the operating agreement, the partnership agreement, or the subscription docs to show that the new owner is IRA Financial Trust versus the old custodian, ABC or XYZ Trust Company. That's it. No fees, just some paperwork. We have a great investment compliance team that will help you do that. Really not a big deal at all. Real estate's the only thing where it's owned directly by an IRA that would have to go through the county to quitclaim it to the new custodian. Fees are under $50, very minimal. But that's the only situation where you will have a little bit, tiny bit of work to do. Otherwise, if you own the real estate in an LLC, or if you own the private placement investment in the LLC, you own the gold or the crypto in the LLC, piece of cake. Nothing you need to do. Amend the operating agreement. The LLC will still own that underlying asset. Nothing will change. Bank account stays the same. Super easy. No stress. Okay, so hopefully now you understand that it's super easy to make the move to change IRA custodians. You don't have to. If you're happy with your custodian, great. Hopefully you are using IRA Financial. If you're not, then good. I'm happy you found one of the great self-directed IRA custodians in the industry, and we got some great ones. But if you do want to make a move, and obviously we'd love to work with you. And if you have an LLC, then making the changes is super easy. If you have real estate directly through the IRA, we'll help you do that through the quitclaim process. If you have private equity or other private placement type business investments, it's just reaching out to the general partner or manager of that investment and just getting the paperwork changed. Not a big deal at all. And our investment and compliance departments will assist. So don't worry, just chill. It will be all good. So hopefully everything makes sense. You now understand what checkbook control is, how the rollover transfer process works, and how, if you have a checkbook control LLC, you can switch custodians hassle-free and not have to worry about any paperwork or any stress or even any fees that will go to local counties to deal with deeds or quitclaim processes. So thank you for spending some time here today. It was a really fun podcast. Hope you guys learned stuff. I know I did. I always learn and prepare. And I get some great feedback. So if you guys have ideas, questions for new AdBits, new podcasts, just drop me a note on social media or email us at info@IRA Financial. You can just say AdBit or ask Adam and just send me some ideas. I got a slew of them coming, but always can use more. That's kind of what I really enjoy, and gives me it does give me some satisfaction. Other people actually appreciate this stuff, and I'm hopefully helping more people than I think that actually care about self-directed IRA investments and want to be the best, most tax efficient, most successful investor they can. And these rules are important. If you get them and you understand them, you will be a far more tax savvy investor, especially when it comes to your retirement account. So thanks for spending some time with me today. Really appreciate it. And hope to see you again next week. Cheers. Take care.